Connecting the 4-way switch junction box with the power supply cable located in this box. Junction box with 3 cables that will be spliced and connected to the 4-way switch. The junction box must be large enough to accommodate the cable and the switch according to the NEC, National Electrical Code, calculations. Wiring sketch of the 4-way switch in this junction box. Example sketch of a 3-way system connection using this junction box connection. Multiple 4-way switches can be installed in a 3-way switch system. 3-wire cable to the first 3-way, or 4-way switch. 3-wire cable to the second 3-way, or 4-way switch. Cable from the power source. Cables secured to the stud within 12 inches of the cable entry into the junction box. Remove the cable sheath. Cable sheath removed. The cable sheath shall extend into the junction box not less than 1/4 inch. 3-wire and 2-wire cable wires. Bare, ground wire. White, neutral wire. Black, hot wire. Red, second hot wire. Green wire nuts should only be used to connect the ground wire. The green wire nut has a special hole at the top that allows the bare pigtail of the ground wire, one of the ground wires to be spliced, to be exposed for connection to an electrical device after splicing. Popular tan wire nut which that fits most connections. Group the ground, bare, wires together. Select a longer wire for the pigtail wire, trim the other ground wires to no less than 6 inches, connect the trimmed wires to the longer pigtail wire with a green wire nut, and then insert the connected wires into the junction box. Shorter ground wires twisted around a longer pigtail wire. The length of free wire from the removed cable jacket must be at least 6 inches. Longer ground wire left for pigtail wire. Ground wires connected with a green wire nut. 3 to 5 twists are sufficient, as too many twists may damage the wire. Spliced ground wires inserted into the junction box. And pigtail wire left outside junction box. Group the hot, black, wire from the cable from the power source and from the cable to the first 3-way switch, trim them to no shorter than 6 inches, and strip the ends of the wires about 1/2 inch. The ends of wires are stripped of insulation by about 1/2 inch. The length of free wire from the removed cable jacket must be at least 6 inches. At least 3 inches of wire must extend from the front of the junction box. Using pliers and a wire nut or just a wire nut, connect the wires together and insert them into the junction box. Twisting the ends of the wires with pliers ensures a better connection. Connection secured with a wire nut. 3 to 5 twists of the wires are sufficient to prevent damage to the wire insulation. Spliced wires inserted into the junction box. Group the neutral, white wire from the cable from the power source and from the cable to the second 3-way switch. Trim them to no shorter than 6 inches. Strip the ends of the wires about 1/2 inch, then using pliers and a wire nut or just a wire nut, connect the wires together and insert them into the junction box. The length of free wire from the removed cable jacket must be at least 6 inches. And at least 3 inches of wire must extend from the front of the junction box. The wire ends are twisted with pliers to provide a better connection, and the connection is secured with a wire nut. 3 to 5 twists are sufficient, as too many twists may damage the wire insulation. Spliced wires inserted into the junction box. Use black electrical tape or other means to mark the white wire from the cable to the first 3-way switch as the hot wire, as this wire will no longer be the neutral wire. White wire marked as hot wire. Group all the wires and pigtail wire, trim them to no shorter than 6 inches and insert them into the junction box. Trimmed wires. Inserted into the junction box. To connect a 4-way switch, remove the wires from the junction box. Strip about 1/2 inch of insulation from the ends of the wires, and make a loop in the end of each wire. The ends of the wires are stripped about 1/2 inch, and a loop is made at the end of each wire. 4-way switch, front view. 4-way switch, rear view. Ground terminal, green screw. Hot input terminals, black screws. Hot output terminals, gold screws. Wires from the junction box that will be connected to the 4-way switch. Ground, bare, wire that should be connected to the ground terminal, green screw, of the switch. Hot, white marked black and red, traveler wires from the cable to the first 3-way, or 4-way switch, power source side, which must be connected as a pair to input connection terminals of the switch, as per manufacturer instruction. Both wires of the same cable as a pair must be connected to either the input, black screws, or the output, gold screws, switch connection terminal. It does not matter whether a pair of wires from one of the two cables is connected to the input or output connection terminal, and the wires from the same pair can be connected to the same terminal, input or output, in any order for the switch to operate properly. Hot, black and red, traveler wires from cable to the second three-way, or four-way switch, which should be connected as a pair to the other switch connection terminals, output in this case. Connect the ground wire, bare, from the junction box to the ground terminal, green screw, of the switch. Ground wire connected. Connect one of the traveler wires, white marked black in this example, from the cable to the first three-way, or four-way switch to one of the input terminals, black screw, of the switch. Wire connected. Connect the other traveler wire, red, from the cable to the first three-way, or four-way switch to the other input terminal, black screw, of the switch. Other wire from the same cable is connected. Connect one of the traveler wires, red, from the cable to the second three-way, or four-way switch to one of the output terminals, gold screw, of the switch. Wire connected. Connect the other traveler wire, black, from the cable to the second three-way, or four-way switch to the other output terminal, gold screw, of the switch. Other wire connected. For the switch to operate properly, both wires from the same cable must be connected as a pair to the input or output terminals of the switch. The wires of the same cable to the same pair of switch terminals can be connected in any order. To maintain consistency, wires of the same color can be connected to one side of the switch, and wires of a different color to the other side, but as a pair from the same cable they must be connected to the same terminals, input or output, of the switch. Insert the wires into the junction box. Make sure the ground wire does not touch any of the hot screws of the switch. Secure the switch to the junction box and level it. Switch secured to the junction box. Install the switch wall plate. If this video is helpful, please subscribe. Comments are welcome.